Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to iTouch App Reviewers. In this video, I've got a pretty cool one for you guys. We're going to be going over the best off-grid watches. If you've got an AirTag that you use to track your items, I highly recommend getting one of these. It's a glow-in-the-dark AirTag case that I've created called Ghost Tags, links down below. All right, so when we're talking about off-grid, we're not necessarily talking about living in the forest or something like that. However, we are talking about possibly prolonged times of not having access to power. In a survival situation, or maybe just an off-grid life, you might be wondering, what is the best watch to use for something like that? And I really thought about this the other day because I've got these two solar G-Shocks here, the one I'm wearing as well as this one here. And it made me really appreciate the fact that I don't have to set this watch. I don't have to plug this watch into charge. I don't have to switch the batteries pretty much ever. And it's just something that is nice to have. But in an off-grid situation, this is perfect. So I'm going to go over a couple options here. So the first thing people think about with regards to off-grid is something along the lines of, okay, I need maps, I need directions to get somewhere. And you might think of something like a Garmin watch. And I will say they are awesome. This one here is solar, but solar doesn't do a whole lot. You still need to plug this in and charge it every 3 or 4 days, depending on how heavily you use it. So it's an option, but it's not the best. Next up is something like an automatic watch. With these, you don't have a battery or anything. It's mechanical. To be more specific, it's automatic, which means as it's on your wrist, the rotor in the back charges it up, so to speak, and the mechanism gets it going. And this can last for, this one can last maybe 2 days off wrist, 2.5 days off wrist. So if I take it off for 2 days, it'll keep ticking. I can put it back on and be good to go. Now this obviously is out of the price range of most people. It is definitely something to look into because it doesn't take batteries, doesn't need pretty much anything. Maybe maintenance once every 8 years. That shouldn't be too big of a problem. The problem is with this one, you really don't want to get it dirty. It's more of a classy option for being off-grid. Then we're going to talk about the G-Shock. So I'm going to take this one off the wrist here. You guys can see what it looks like. It looks really good on my wrist, and I really like these watches. I've done reviews on both of these before, so here they are. These are solar and atomic, which means they set themselves and they charge up with sunlight or just regular light in your room. These are seriously awesome. The only downfall to the atomic part is I do have to put them in my windowsill because I have blackout shades that have metallic bits in them, and it won't allow it to set the time. So between 12 and 4 a.m., it'll pull down the signal and give me an accurate time for the next day. The way I can tell that is by the RCVD right there. That means it received in the last 24 hours. This one I did as an example. It's hard to see here with the negative display, but there's no RCVD, so it did not receive signal last night, but you can see it did the other night, and they're pretty much still synced up almost perfectly. Now the difference between the two is obviously this one gives you the moon phase as well as the tide graph, which could be super useful if you are near an ocean and in your off-grid lifestyle, that's what you need. So this could be invaluable to you. You just set your location, you are good to go. You don't have to worry about this. You can take this in the ocean, in the shower, you can bang it into stuff. It's probably not going to break. They're very tough, and it really shouldn't fail you. So you don't have to worry about battery. You don't have to worry about anything. Same with this one here. This one's a little more basic, but in my opinion, looks a little sleeker. If you're trying to be a little bit more covert, not have something big and white on your wrist, this one might be good as well. Easy to read, and looks really cool too. The blue has a little pop of color, but nothing crazy. So just a quick video, guys, going over your options. These don't really want to stay up, do they? Nope. So I'll just set them like this. So it depends what you want for off-grid. If you're never going to have access to power, definitely get yourself one of these. Solar powered watches that has atomic time. It's the best of both worlds. You don't really have to worry about anything for like 8 to 10 years. And then I think you might have to replace the battery. Maybe. Jury's still out on that one. This one can go for a couple of days, maybe out in the woods, and not have to worry about the battery too much. Like if you go for a 2-day camp or 3-day camp and you want to hike, you could bring a little battery pack or something and charge it up if you had to, but it should last 2 days, easy. I would still bring a battery pack just to be on the safe side in case things went sideways. And then this, of course, kind of an oddball, but I wanted to throw it in there because I know a lot of you guys are mechanical watch fans. Just really nice to look at. And this one, again, off-grid completely. No batteries, nothing like that. Just needs service every now and then, and obviously you have to set it. But I think it's plus or minus 2 seconds a day or something crazy like that. So you'd be good to go for months, if not a whole year or two, without really having to worry about the time. Anyways, if I had to rank these, I would probably say this is the worst off-grid watch just because I wouldn't want to get it messed up. And if I'm off-grid, I probably do not have access to as many first world luxuries. So I'd probably save this one for very special occasions. Next up, I would say this one. It's very good, but it does require some electricity every few days to charge it up. And then these two are tied. Really just depends. I like the looks and the readability of this one a little better. This one just looks so different. It's nice to have a little pop of, you know, color like white and this purple. Of course, it's got the tides and the moon. So, I mean, totally off grid, solar battery, atomic timekeeping. You don't have to worry about anything. Basically set it and forget it. Well, you don't even have to set it. So number 4, number 3, number 2, and number 1 in one of those orders, depending on the day. So that's all I got for this video, guys. If you liked it, hit with a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.